The Paraka Saga, a story of money, power, and justice. Ladies and gentlemen, today we delve into one of Papua New Guinea's most controversial legal and political sagas, the case of Paraka. Paraka lawyers, or PPL, began representing the state in civil litigation matters around the year 2000. However, on October 17, 2006, the government withdrew its instructions, officially cutting ties with the firm effective November 20, 2006. Despite this termination, payments to PPL and its associated entities continued well beyond the cutoff date. Between 2007 and 2011, the Department of Finance allegedly paid more than 162 million kina, equivalent to approximately $44 million, to PPL and other associated firms. These payments were processed through 65 checks, each ranging from 1 million to 5 million kina. The government argued that these transactions were for fictitious or unverified legal services. The Office of the Solicitor General found no record of official engagements with these firms, and many of the legal matters cited by Paraka as justification were never officially assigned by the state. By 2013, Task Force Sweep, an anti-corruption unit, launched an extensive investigation into these payments. That October, Paraka was arrested and charged with 18 counts, including conspiracy to defraud, stealing by false pretense, money laundering, misappropriation of public funds. Over time, the number of charges against him grew, exceeding 30 by the year 2017. Other officials, including former Finance Secretary Stephen Gibson, were also arrested in connection with the case. In 2006, Paraka had secured national court orders preventing the state from stopping payments to his firm. These orders were under appeal until 2014. Meanwhile, he challenged the legality of Task Force Sweep, claiming that the unit's actions were unconstitutional and politically motivated. Some of the charges against him were dismissed by the courts. In 2018, 27 charges were struck down. In 2020, another 22 were dismissed, as they were deemed administrative rather than criminal matters. Despite these legal battles, in May 2023, Justice Teresa Barragan found Paraka guilty of 5 counts of misappropriation under Section 383A of Papua New Guinea's Criminal Code. The court ruled that he had dishonestly obtained 162 million kina over a period of 5 years, using the funds for his own benefit and that of others. On October 4, 2023, Paraka was sentenced to 20 years in prison. He has since announced plans to appeal the decision, arguing that there was insufficient evidence, specifically, a lack of hard-copy payment records to support the prosecution's claims. This case was not just about money, it was deeply intertwined with politics. High-profile figures, including former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, were implicated. In 2014, an arrest warrant was issued for O'Neill over alleged involvement in the payments. However, in 2017, the warrant was quashed. O'Neill denied any wrongdoing, claiming that his signature had been forged on critical documents. Meanwhile, Paraka has continuously maintained that he is the victim of a political vendetta, orchestrated by his rivals and facilitated by Task Force Sweep. Paraka did not go down without a fight. In 2018, he sued the state, demanding compensation for the destruction of his business. Half of Papua New Guinea's annual budget in damages. The imprisonment of certain officials under Section 23 of the PNG Constitution for abuse of power. He argued that all payments made to his firm were lawful, authorized by prior court orders, and approved by government officials. Now let's look at the legal theories and arguments. 1. Misappropriation, Section 383A of the Criminal Code. This law defines misappropriation as dishonestly applying property belonging to another for personal use. The court found that Paraka knowingly procured fraudulent payments for legal services that were never performed. 2. Honest claim of right. Paraka argued that he had a lawful claim to the payments, as they were based on court orders and past engagements. However, the court ruled that this claim was invalid post-2006, and the use of multiple law firms as intermediaries weakened his defense. 3. Abuse of process. Paraka maintained that the case against him was politically motivated, citing task force sweep's disbandment in 2014 as proof that the charges were invalid. While some charges were dismissed, the 2023 trial moved forward, rejecting this defense. 4. Conspiracy and money laundering. The prosecution argued that Paraka conspired with Department of Finance officials and other law firms to execute a sophisticated fraud scheme. The movement of money through multiple firms and its rapid transfer to PPL-backed entities supported this claim. The government's case relied heavily on missing documentation, raising questions about whether the prosecution had conducted a thorough investigation. Meanwhile, Paraka's defense, that he legally earned the money, was plausible up until 2006, but beyond that, his firm had no legal right to receive payments. This case also exposed PNG's weak financial oversight and vulnerability to political interference, with legal institutions struggling to enforce anti-corruption measures. In a nutshell, the Paul Paraka saga is a story of law, money, and politics in Papua New Guinea. The central facts are clear: 162 million kina was allegedly misappropriated. A former top lawyer has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Political and legal battles continue to this day. As Paraka prepares to appeal, the case remains a critical test for PNG's justice system. Will his conviction stand? Or will history take yet another unexpected turn? Only time will tell. Thank you.